Chapter 1. You wake up, reach for your phone, and before your feet touch the floor, you've already lost the first battle of the day. Notifications pull you in, emails demand attention, social media scrolls endlessly. By 9 a.m. you feel behind, scattered, and strangely exhausted, even though you haven't done anything meaningful yet. Sound familiar? If it does, you're not lazy. You're just human in a world engineered to fragment your attention. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters with clarity and calm. This audiobook is your roadmap, not from chaos to perfection overnight, but from autopilot to intentional living. We start simple because simple is what sticks when life gets loud. Meet Aisha, 27, marketing coordinator in Nairobi, single mom to a 4-year-old, side hustle selling handmade jewelry online. Her days used to disappear like smoke, answering messages the moment they pinged, jumping between tasks, ending each evening with a long to-do list and zero sense of accomplishment. She wasn't unproductive, she was overstimulated. One Sunday night, staring at a sink full of dishes and an inbox at 247 unread, she decided, enough. She would reclaim her time before it reclaimed her. The first principle she embraced was the most powerful and the most ignored: protect your morning. Not with complicated routines, but with one non-negotiable rule: no inputs before 8 a.m. No phone in bed. No email. No news. No social media. She placed her phone in the kitchen overnight, charger off limits. Mornings became hers. 10 minutes stretching, 20 minutes planning the day on paper, coffee in silence while her daughter still slept. That single boundary changed everything. Why mornings matter most: your brain is freshest after sleep. Willpower is highest. Attention is least polluted. When you spend that golden window reacting to other people's priorities, you spend the rest of the day playing catch-up. When you spend it on your own priorities, the day bends toward you. Aisha's next move was brutal simplicity: the 3 most important tasks, MITs. Every evening she wrote exactly 3 things that, if completed, would make the day a win. Not 10. Not 20. 3. Examples from her first week. Finish client proposal for Thursday pitch. Shoot and edit 3 jewelry product photos. Read 1 chapter to Zawadi before bedtime, no phone in the room. She kept the list on a single sticky note on her laptop lid. Visible. Short. Done by noon if possible. Everything else became nice to have, or later. The psychological relief was instant. No longer drowning in a sea of tasks, she focused on the few that moved the needle. Conflict arrived quickly. Day 3. Urgent email from boss at 7:45 a.m. demanding a report, ASAP. Old Aisha would have jumped in, derailing her MITs. New Aisha replied, got it. I'll deliver by 2 p.m. today. Then she closed email and worked her first MIT. The world didn't end. The report got done. Her proposal still finished on time. She realized most urgent requests survive waiting 90 minutes. By week 4 something shifted. She finished her 3 MITs almost every day. Jewelry sales doubled because photos were consistent. Client feedback improved because proposals were thoughtful, not rushed. She had energy left for her daughter, real presence, not distracted half attention. Here's how you start today, no matter how chaotic your life feels. Tonight, write your 3 MITs for tomorrow. Make them specific, outcome-focused, and important, not just urgent. Decide your no-input morning window, even if it's only 30 minutes. Put your phone out of reach tonight. When you wake, do 1 small deep work block on your first MIT before opening email or messages. At day's end, cross off what you finished. Feel the win. Plan tomorrow's 3. Repeat. You won't master everything at once. You don't have to. Start with mornings and MITs. Protect them fiercely. Watch how quickly your days stop owning you and start obeying you. Aisha didn't become superhuman. She became intentional. And intention, when guarded, is the closest thing to superpowers most of us will ever need. Your first 3 tasks are waiting. Write them now. Tomorrow begins tonight. If you're ready to keep this momentum going, week after week, hit that subscribe button right now. Every new book drops straight into your feed so you never miss. Let's turn these small daily wins into the life you actually want. Subscribe today and we'll build this together, one focus block at a time. Chapter 2. You've claimed your mornings and locked in the habit of 3 most important tasks. The first week probably felt like wearing new glasses, everything sharper but a little disorienting. You finished your MITs a few times, maybe not every day, but enough to taste what focused progress feels like. Now the real work begins, protecting that focus when the world turns up the volume. This chapter is about building an unbreakable attention fortress in a world designed to tear it down. Aisha was 2 weeks into her new rhythm. Mornings sacred, 3 MITs written every night. Phone banished until 8 a.m. Productivity spiked. Client proposals sharper, jewelry photos better lit, evenings with Zawadi calmer. Then came the storm, a major client campaign launch. Her boss started pinging at 7:12 a.m., quick check-in. Slack messages stacked up. Team members tagged her in group chats. By 9 a.m. her inbox had 41 new emails. The old pattern threatened to return: react, respond, react again. She almost caved. Instead she remembered a second principle that changed everything. Batch the shallow work. Emails, messages, admin, quick replies, these are shallow tasks. They feel urgent because they beep, but they rarely move the needle on what matters most. Deep work, writing proposals, editing photos, strategic thinking, requires uninterrupted blocks. Mixing them destroys momentum. Aisha created 2 daily shallow batches, 11 to 11:30 a.m. and 4 to 4:30 p.m. During those windows only she opened email, Slack, WhatsApp Business, social DMs. Outside those times notifications stayed off. She set her status to deep work with an auto reply, focused until 11. We'll check messages then, thanks for understanding. Most people respected it. The few who didn't, their requests waited 30 minutes and still got handled. She also adopted the Pomodoro with a twist technique for her MITs. Classic Pomodoro is 25 minutes focused, 5-minute break. Aisha made it 50 out of 10 because her best flow state needed longer ramps. She used a simple kitchen timer, no app distractions. Phone face down in another room. Door closed. 1 MIT per block. If her mind wandered, she wrote the distracting thought on a parking lot notepad and returned to the task. No judgment, just redirection. The campaign launch week tested her hard. Day 1. Boss requested an urgent slide deck revision at 10:15. Old instinct screamed, drop everything. New instinct checked the clock. Deep block until 11. She replied, on it right after my current focus block, delivering by 11:45. Then she finished photographing a new necklace collection, MIT number 2. At 11 she batched the revision in 20 minutes. Boss was happy. Collection photos posted. No crisis. By week's end she'd completed every MIT despite the chaos. Sales from the new photos up 40%. Client campaign launched smoothly. She even had 30 minutes to dance with Zawadi before dinner. No guilt, no half presents. Here's how you build your own attention fortress starting today. Define your shallow work batches. Pick 2 20 to 40-minute windows. Morning and late afternoon work best for most. Outside those times, notifications off, apps closed, status set to focused or do not disturb. Use longer focus blocks for MITs, 50 minutes on, 10 off, or 90-20 if you can sustain it. 1 task, 1 timer. Phone out of sight. Create a physical focus ritual. Close laptop lid, stand up, stretch, say out loud, this block is for MIT number 1. Small signal trains your brain. Build a parking lot. Keep paper or a single note app open for random thoughts. Call dentist. Buy milk. Check that reel later. Capture and release. Don't chase. End each block with a micro-win log. 1 sentence. Finished draft proposal. Seeing evidence of progress fuels tomorrow's motivation. You will slip. A notification will sneak through. A colleague will walk in. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's recovery speed. Notice the distraction, return gently, keep going. Aisha's biggest discovery wasn't the techniques. It was the feeling, control. Not over the world, but over her attention. When you own your focus, you own your day. When you own your day, you own your life. Tonight, decide your 2 shallow batches for tomorrow. Set your first 50-minute block on MIT number 1. Put the phone away now. The fortress isn't built in a day, but every defended minute adds a brick. Chapter 3. You've guarded your mornings, nailed the 3 MITs most days, and carved out shallow work batches so your attention isn't leaking everywhere. The rhythm is starting to feel natural, like breathing instead of forcing every inhale. But even with those protections, there's one force that can still derail weeks of progress in minutes: context switching. Jumping between tasks, apps, people, and priorities is the silent killer of deep work. This chapter is about eliminating that killer and replacing it with single-task flow, the state where hours disappear and real results appear. Aisha had reached month 2. Her jewelry side hustle was gaining traction. Consistent posting led to steady orders, repeat customers, even a small wholesale inquiry. Client work at the agency felt smoother because she delivered thoughtful work instead of rushed patches. Yet she still ended some days exhausted despite only working 8 hours. The culprit? Multitasking disguised as efficiency. Checking email while on a client call. Editing photos while replying to WhatsApp orders. Planning tomorrow's MITs while half watching a webinar. Each switch cost her brain 15 to 40 minutes to refocus, according to research she later read. She was losing hours without realizing it. She decided to go all in on one principle: monotasking with ruthless boundaries. One task, one window, full attention. No exceptions during deep blocks. To make it stick, she created focus containers, clear, timed blocks with hard starts and ends. Her daily structure looked like this: 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Morning ritual, stretch, plan MITs, coffee, no devices. 8:00, 9:30 a.m. First MIT block, deep creative or strategic work. 9:45, 10:45 a.m. Second MIT block. 11:00, 11:30 a.m. Shallow batch number 1, email, messages, quick admin. 12:00, 1:00 p.m. Lunch plus short walk, no phone. 1:30, 3:00 p.m. Third MIT or highest leverage task. 3:15, 3:45 p.m. Shallow batch hashtag 24:00, 5:00 p.m. Wrap up, low energy tasks, prep tomorrow. Inside each deep block she used a physical cue. Noise cancelling headphones even without music, just the silent signal. Laptop in full screen mode, phone in airplane mode in a drawer. She told her team, if it's truly urgent, call my mobile. Otherwise, I'll respond in batch windows. Most things weren't truly urgent. The first week was brutal. Zawadi spilled juice on the floor during a deep block. A supplier called unexpectedly. An Instagram reel notification slipped through before airplane mode. Each interruption felt like yanking a plug out of her brain. But she practiced gentle recovery. Acknowledge, okay, that happened. Reset timer, return. No self-criticism. Just restart. By week 3 the resistance faded. Flow states arrived faster. A single 90-minute block produced an entire week's content calendar, something that used to take 3 scattered afternoons. She shot and edited a full product video in one sitting instead of piecemeal over days. Quality soared. Orders increased 60% month over month. Client praised her new level of polish. Conflict peaked during a major pitch preparation. Boss scheduled 3 quick syncs across her deep blocks. Aisha proposed one 20-minute consolidated call instead. Boss agreed. She protected the blocks, delivered a standout deck, and won the account. The team noticed. Her reputation shifted from responsive to reliable and excellent. Here's how you eliminate context switching and unlock flow starting today. Map your day into fixed containers. Block time for deep work, 90 to 120 minutes ideal. Shallow batches, 20 to 40 minutes. Breaks and buffer. Use paper or a simple calendar. Don't over-engineer. During deep containers, one task only. Full screen. Notifications off. Headphones on. Door closed or do not disturb sign if you share space. Use a visible timer, phone timer works, kitchen timer better, no temptation. Commit to the full block before starting. When interrupted, kid, colleague, thought, note it quickly on your parking lot and return. Train your brain that deep time is sacred. End blocks intentionally. Stand, stretch, drink water, log one win, finished campaign strategy. Small reset primes the next block. Review weekly. Which blocks produce the most value? Adjust. Protect the highest leverage ones first. You won't live in perfect monotasking forever. Life is messy. The goal is to spend 3 to 4 hours a day in true single-focus mode. That's enough to outpace most people who stay in reactive mode all day. Aisha discovered something deeper than output: presence. When she monotasked work, she monotasked playtime with Zawadi, no glancing at her phone, no mental to-do lists. Full attention in both worlds. That, more than sales numbers, felt like winning. Tonight, sketch tomorrow's containers on paper. Pick your longest deep block. Protect it like it's oxygen. One focused hour changes more than 10 scattered ones. You're not trying to do everything. You're trying to do the right thing completely. Chapter 4. Your mornings are protected. 3 MITs guide your day. Shallow work is batched. Deep blocks are monotasked. Focus containers hold the line against chaos. You're no longer reacting to every ping. You're directing your energy like a laser. Yet even with these systems, there's one invisible thief that still steals more time than notifications ever could: decision fatigue. Every tiny choice: what should I work on next? Should I reply now or later? Which email first? Drains the same mental fuel you need for real work. This chapter is about eliminating that drain so your willpower lasts longer and your best thinking stays sharp. Aisha had built impressive momentum by month 3. Jewelry business hit $1,200 monthly revenue consistently. Agency projects delivered early. Evenings with Zawadi felt full instead of frantic. But she noticed a pattern. By 3 p.m. her focus crumbled. Simple decisions: respond to this DM or that one. Edit this photo or write captions first. Left her staring at the screen, paralyzed. She wasn't tired from effort. She was tired from choosing. She discovered the antidote: pre-decide as much as possible. The fewer real-time decisions you make during peak energy hours, the more energy you have for creation and execution. She called it front-loading decisions. Her system had 4 layers. Weekly blueprint: Sunday evening, 30 minutes. She reviewed the calendar and goals, then blocked recurring deep work themes. Mondays: content creation, photos, videos, captions. Tuesdays: client strategy and proposals. Wednesdays: outreach and wholesale follow-ups. Thursdays: learning plus system improvement, courses, process tweaks. Fridays: review, batch admin, plan next week. No daily renegotiation. Just show up to the theme. Daily default sequence. Written on a laminated card beside her desk. Morning. Ritual: MIT number 1, highest leverage. MIT #2 shallow batch #1 lunch plus walk. MIT number 3 or carryover shallow batch #2 evening wind down. No screens after 8 p.m. The order never changed unless a true emergency hit. Micro routines for recurring choices: what to wear. 5 work outfits rotated weekly. What to eat for lunch. 3 simple meals prepped Sunday: salad bowls, veggie stir-fry, egg wraps. Social media posting. Batch 5 posts every Monday for the week, scheduled via app. Email replies. Templates saved for common inquiries. Thanks for your order. Shipping tomorrow. Proposal attached. Let me know questions. If, then rules for interruptions: if a new client request arrives outside shallow batch, add to parking lot. Handle in next batch. If inspiration strikes mid-block, capture in parking lot. Return to current task. If energy crashes after lunch, do 10-minute walk. Then 25-minute low-energy task: filing, organizing photos. The impact was immediate and profound. Mondays became unstoppable content days. New collection photos shot, edited, captioned, scheduled in one focused stretch. Tuesdays produced proposals so strong the agency won 2 new retainers. Decision fatigue vanished because most choices were already made. By afternoon she still had mental fuel for deep work or quality family time. The hardest test came during school holidays. Zawadi home all day, energy scattered. Aisha adapted without abandoning the system. She shifted deep blocks to 6 to 8 a.m., while Zawadi slept, used noise-canceling headphones during Zawadi's nap for 1 more block, and accepted shorter deep sessions. The framework flexed but didn't break. Productivity dipped slightly, normal, but didn't collapse. Here's how you eliminate decision fatigue starting tonight. Spend 20 to 30 minutes this Sunday creating your weekly blueprint. Assign themes to each weekday based on your biggest goals. Write your daily default sequence on paper or a note card. Pin it where you'll see it first thing. Follow it like gravity. Create 3 simple meal ideas and prep ingredients. Pick 5 outfits or a capsule wardrobe. Batch any repeatable creative output, posts, emails, graphics. Build 5 if-then rules for your most common interruptions or low-energy moments. Write them down. When a decision arises during work hours, ask, is this pre-decided? If no, decide once and add it to your system for next time. You're not becoming a robot. You're becoming free. Every choice you remove from real time returns energy to what matters. Creating, connecting, living. Aisha no longer ended days wondering where the time went. She ended them knowing exactly where it went, toward the life she was intentionally building. Tonight, sit down for your weekly blueprint. Decide the week before it decides you. Fewer choices, deeper focus, bigger results. That's the quiet power of pre-deciding. Chapter 5. You've built the structure. Protected mornings, 3 MITs, batched shallow work, monotask deep blocks, pre-decided routines that eliminate decision fatigue. Your days now have shape, your focus has weight, and your progress feels real instead of frantic. But structure without reflection is like a car without a dashboard. You can drive fast, but you won't know if you're heading toward the cliff or the horizon. This final chapter is about closing the loop, reviewing, refining, and renewing so productivity becomes a lifelong upgrade, not a temporary fix. Aisha reached month 6. Jewelry revenue stabilized at $1,800 to $2,200 monthly. Agency role felt lighter because she delivered high-value work in fewer hours. She had evenings back, real evenings of bedtime stories, laughter, and rest instead of catching up on tasks. Yet she sensed a subtle drift. Some days the MITs felt rote, some weeks the deep blocks produced less spark. She wasn't burning out, she was coasting. That's when she added the most important habit of all, weekly review and reset. Every Sunday evening, 30 to 45 minutes, no exceptions. She called it her power hour. No phone notifications, no distractions, just her, a notebook, and a cup of tea. The review followed a simple 5-question framework. What went well last week? Wins, flow moments, completed MITs, positive feedback. What drained energy or wasted time? Interruptions, low-value tasks, procrastination triggers. Did I move the needle on my biggest goals? Revenue targets, client wins, family presence, personal growth. What one system or habit needs tweaking? Shorter blocks? Different theme days? New templates? What are my 3 MITs for the week ahead, and why do they matter? She logged answers in the same notebook she used for daily MITs, creating a running story of growth. Then she planned the next week's blueprint, adjusted theme days if needed, blocked vacation time for an upcoming family trip, scheduled a 2-hour learning block to study advanced product photography. The review wasn't about perfection. It was about honesty. One Sunday she admitted social media scrolling had crept back during lunch breaks, stealing 20 minutes daily. She fixed it. Phone stayed in another room during lunch, replaced with a short walk or reading a physical book. Another week she realized Wednesday outreach blocks were too vague. She turned them into 3 targeted DMs plus 1 wholesale email. Specificity doubled responses. The monthly layer came next. Last day of each month, she did a deeper 30-day reset. Calculated revenue growth, tracked hours worked versus output, rated energy and joy on a 1 to 10 scale. If joy dipped below 7 2 months in a row, she adjusted, more family time, less client work, or a new creative project. This prevented the slow slide into productive but miserable. Conflict arrived during the holiday rush. Orders spiked, family visiting, school break. Old Aisha would have powered through, sacrificing sleep and presence. New Aisha ran her power hour mid-rush, acknowledged the strain, cut deep blocks to 60 minutes, delegated photo editing to a freelance helper she hired for $150 per month, and protected 1 full family day with no work. Revenue still grew 35% that month. More importantly, she stayed connected to the people who mattered most. Here's your simple review system to make productivity sustainable. Weekly power hour, Sunday evening answer the 5 questions. Plan next week's blueprint and MITs. Monthly reset, last day track key metrics, output, energy, joy, income if relevant. Adjust big levers. Keep it analog if possible, notebook or 1-page template. Digital invites distraction. Celebrate quietly, cross off completed weeks, note 1 proud moment each reset. Momentum lives in acknowledgement. When life disrupts, illness, travel, crisis, shrink the system, do a 10-minute micro-review instead of skipping entirely. Aisha's biggest realization wasn't about output. It was about alignment. Productivity stopped being a tool to get more done, and became a tool to live better. More presence with Zawadi, more creative joy in her craft, more peace in her decisions. The system served her life, not the other way around. You built the machine. Now maintain it. Tonight, set a recurring calendar reminder for your first power hour this Sunday. Grab a notebook. Answer the 5 questions for last week, even if it's messy. The journey doesn't end here. It evolves. Keep reviewing. Keep refining. Keep choosing focus over frenzy. Your time is finite. Make it count. Ready to start? Grab that notebook right now. Write your 3 MITs for tomorrow. Schedule your power hour. And tomorrow morning, protect it. Your most productive chapter isn't the one you finish reading. It's the one you start living. Begin tonight.